Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to the Humble Servant Homestead. So, today I am out here, guys, fulfilling a promise that I make to you all that I will take you all when we get ready to start planting our potatoes. Now, today is that day. Today is that time for us to go ahead and make that first step of getting our potatoes ready. And what do I mean about getting them ready? Now, sometime when you go out to your local box store and buy potatoes, they come in many different shapes and size. You have small potatoes and you also have big potatoes. Now, absolutely, those bigger potatoes, you do not want to put them in the ground that way because guess what? You may end up wasting some potatoes where that you could have cut them and divide them up into different pieces and able to plant them out in different places wherever you're going to be putting your potatoes. Okay, so today is that day. We are going to take you all in to go ahead and start cutting these potatoes. And as I cut them, I will explain a few steps of what it is that I am doing and why I am doing it. Now, of course, if you're going to be cutting potatoes, step one is you will have to go on out and locate those potatoes wherever you go and buy your potatoes. I know for me, we usually go on out to our local box store that carry potatoes and we'll go ahead and pick them up. Sometime you can get them from different farm stores and different places out there that carry potatoes. Sometimes it is good to call and check before you go there to make sure they have potatoes on hand.
And they call them seed potatoes.
Yes, seed potatoes, absolutely. Of course, it would be called seed potatoes because this is where you actually get your potatoes from that you will be eating. Now, you can also go to your grocery store and buy potatoes as well. But before you do so, you want to make sure it is organic potatoes that you are picking up. Simple reason why, guys, they have growth inhibitors that they spray on regular potatoes that are not organic that will restrict the eyes from coming out of the potatoes. Okay, so just make sure that you're getting organic potatoes when you go to the grocery store. Now, there is a step that you would want to take. You would want to put those potatoes inside of a tote or a box in a cool, dry place for them to go ahead and start chitting or either bust eyes. That's one of the way that you can say it as well, because really it's just pushing out eyes for getting ready to start growing. Okay, so that is some ways that you can get on out there and also find seed potatoes to grow for either in the springtime or in early fall. All right, so that is also another time that you can plant your potatoes. So needless to say, we're touching on that right there. Now we're going to go ahead and get into these potatoes right here. Now, these right here are the potatoes that I have, the variety that we are growing this year that do really well for us here on the homestead. Now, as the year goes on, I will probably start venturing on out into a couple of different varieties of potatoes, but the one that is tried and true here on the homestead, this one right here, guys, is the red Norland potatoes. All right, we did this one last year. It did really well for us and we're doing it this year again. Now, it is two varieties that we are planting, and the other variety is that we will be planting out here on the homestead, guys, is the Yukon Gold. Now, these potatoes, they absolutely did really well for us last year. Now, before I get into it, guys, there is a couple of different ways how we plant our potatoes here. Now, I did do an example planting potatoes also in container. You can go ahead and check that video on out in the archive so you can see how we went about doing it. But no further ado, let's get into this bag and pull these potatoes on out. So first up is the Yukon Gold. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and pour this one on out. Whoa, I'm losing one.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, with no potatoes get left behind. All right. And this is the red Norland potato here. And guys, these potatoes, they are actually all ready to get in the ground. We are a couple of days late from getting them in the ground, but I think getting them in now will still be just fine. All right, so like I said, we do have quite a bit of potatoes that comes in different sizes. Now we have a small potato here and we have a medium potato right here. And hey, we also have a large potato right here. All right, so we're going to now get into cutting our potatoes. Now, the reason for cutting our potatoes is because we want to be able to increase for more potatoes to plant on out. All right, so this right here is a perfect size potato. This right here, you don't have to cut. That is a perfect size. Now, from what I am seeing on this potato right here, it have just enough chit on it. And even if you come on in real close, and I just lost one, guys, and if you come in real close, you can see those little small little eyes right there popping out. Those are more chits that are coming on out, which that is really good, because for each chit that is coming out of your potato, guys, that would represent a stem coming from out of the ground. Now, the more stem that you have coming from your potato, that right there will be means that you will have a greater yield out of your potatoes. So absolutely, you want to have at least about 2 or 3 or even 4 chits on your potatoes, so that way you can have a great yield as they grow on out. And so here we are. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the cutting of the potato to make sure we have some more potatoes to plant out of this medium potato right here. Come on in a little bit close, camera lady. So this potato right here, we're going to get ready to start cutting it. And now what it is that I am doing, I am pretty much examining this potato right here, because like I stated before, you want to make sure you're having at least about 2 or 3 or 4 eyes on your potato. Now it's all depends on how your potato is set up and how much eyes you actually have on this potato. Now, from what I am seeing, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have about 8 eyes on this potato right here. Plus I have a few little more eyes coming out. Now remember, these are also called chits, guys. Okay, but I typically calls them eyes. All right. So as I am checking this potato, I just want to make sure that I am actually making the best cut on this potato right here.
So how many pieces will you cut?
Um,
Potato that size.
I'm going to try and go for 3 pieces out of this potato. Okay, so that's why I'm actually checking it on out to make sure that I am going to be making the best cut. All right, so right here we have 2 that is closer on down to the bottom, and so I'm going to cut it right here in somewhat of a half. I wouldn't say it's quite a half, but somewhat of a half, guys. All right, and so right there is what that is looking like right there. I have 2 eyes on here. That right there is good to go. Now I'm going to finish cutting on up, and we're going to talk a little bit about once you cut it, what it is that you need to go ahead and do. So we're going to put that right there to the side. Where's that guy? Oh, here he is. Wow, he just blend in with everybody. Okay, and so right here I have this other one right here that have about 6 more eyes that is on it. Okay, now they're all placed in just just weird,
Cluster.
yeah, in weird places. So I have to make sure that I maneuver really good to make sure I don't damage any of the chits, guys, or also known as eyes. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and examine this little fella right here. And what I'm going to do, I see we have two right here, and I have a little gap that I can come on through with my knife. And I'm going to put this guy on the table so that way I can make sure I get on through really well. All right. And so, boom, look at that. That right there is it, guys. Now look at that. This one medium potato right here. Now I have 3 pieces out of it to plant in the garden, increasing not just more potatoes to plant in the holes, but to also increase my yield from just this one potato right here. All right, so now we're going to touch on, now that I cut this potato right here, guys. Now that you cut this potato, now you're going to have to take at least about a day for this potato right here to go ahead and scalve over. So pretty much scalving over is this potato need to go ahead and heal itself from that incision or that cut that I just made. Okay, and so once that day is past 24 hours, if you leave it longer, it won't hurt at all. But you know, of course, once you make that cut, you want to make sure that you get it in the ground within the 24-hour, 48 hours or so, or wherever you're going to be planting them. All right, so now that I make that cut, we're going to speed. Look at here, guys. We're going to speed time up. Okay, that's what we just did. We just speed time up, guys. I pray you. Hey. So now that we speed time up, okay. So now we're going to say, hey, this is 48 hours right here. This is what your potato's supposed to look like once it's scaled over, or it heal itself on up. That side by side, absolutely. Yes. That's I like that, baby. That is what the difference is. Fresh cut, 48-hour cut. Okay.
So it just allows the potato
to scalve over.
And
yes, and scalve over. Okay. So that is what you want. Now the reason for that is why you want to go ahead and also let it scalve over, because sometimes you plant them like this directly in the ground, they can end up rotting away and nothing comes out, or bugs can get in there and start eating on it, which that will eventually happen anyway. But before that happen, you want this eye or this chit to go ahead and start putting the roots out and for it to grow on out the ground. And then if this right here rotting away or decay away, that is totally fine. Sometime when you plant them, the potato do decay away anyway. And sometime when you start digging, you will even find this potato thinking that, hey man, look, this is a big one, but not knowing that this is actually the potato, the seed potato that you planted. Okay, so as you all can see the difference, this is what you're looking for once it's scaled over. All right, so hey, that right there is that right there, guys. All right, so pretty much that right there, I believe is pretty much it. So of course, you know, I pray that this video right here was helpful to you all. Baby, are we missing anything?
No, I think that's it right there.
You think that is it?
Yeah, we have to cut these potatoes. So
yes.
We can take them along.
Yep. Planting with you. But
yeah.
The thing is, I'm going to have to, and the reason for me coming out here now and making sure I get this video going, guys, because for some people in different grow zone, because yes, we are here in grow zone 8A, you may be down south, which I would pray that you already plant your potatoes on out, because it is a bit, it gets hotter down there faster. But if you're up north, you may still be experiencing some frost. Now, needless to say, the reason why we typically would wait till our last frost day to plant our potatoes is because what we have experienced here on the homestead. I'm just one of those type of person I only need to learn it, go through something once to learn it. I don't have to get a three-strike warning. So that is why I like to plant my potatoes at this time once my first frost has passed. Why as my last frost pass, because in previous years when I used to plant them out early, what would happen, a frost would come on in and just burn those beautiful lush leaves that have took 2 to 3 weeks to get to where they are. So I typically like to wait. Okay, so also keep that in mind. Don't rush to get on out there. Yes, no, yes, learn wherever you are, and just to make sure that you are planting them out in the right time for you, wherever you're located at. All right. So that is pretty much it right there. I'm going to put a day stamp on this. We are April the 6th.
No, it's April 8th.
April 8th. Wow, I'm way behind, baby.
A couple days.
Yeah, a couple of days off. So April the 8th, guys. I usually typically like to get them in right at about the 1st of April, the 2nd of April. That is around the time our last frost date will come through. But believe it or not, we just had a frost came through April the 6th. Yes, we just had a frost came through, but it would definitely wouldn't have damaged these leaves because they do take a bit of time for them to push up out of the ground anyway. So guys, that right there is pretty much it. I am so happy and thankful that I was able to take you all along with me once more on coming in on explaining how to cut up your seed potatoes to get them out and planted. All right, so now just stay tuned. Like I told my wife, for the ones that I've already cut previously, I am going to go ahead and we are going to take you all along with us tomorrow morning. Y'all are coming on out and we're going to plant these potatoes right here together so I can show you all how we go about doing it here on the homestead to get some beautiful harvest out of these potatoes. So nonetheless, guys, I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you all for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. Now, if you like the content, I know this is something that I typically don't ask for or don't ask. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that we don't need it. Just to kind of help the channel to get on out there, because as you all know, since day one, when we came on in to do these video, is to motivate each and every one of you all out there, not just to sit down in your living room on your couch watching me planting and talking about planting. Also get on outside, guys, and get in the dirt. Get these hands dirty. Your God-given tools that he have given you. The greatest tools to man is your hand. So get on out there, put them in the dirt. After all, that is where we came from. Okay, so get on out there, get up in the dirt and start planting. Because guess what? Spring is in the here. We can smell it. The birds also let us know that spring is here. And the funny thing is, he just came and pitched over here and just that joyful noise. Okay, that beautiful song. You know, all praises be to the Most High, guys. If the birds are happy and they're singing, they're chirping, why we're not happy and singing and chirping as well? After all, God did say, if he can provide for the birds and the beasts of the field, why he won't provide for his very own? But after all, like I always say, guys, he will provide for you, but you cannot just sit down and think that he's going to lay manna in your lap. You have to get on out there and also work it. You have to meet him halfway, so that way he can meet you halfway and hold your hands. It doesn't matter who you are. He will hold your hands and take you the rest of the journey. So just get on outside. Don't be afraid to start planting. Just go and plant. If you plant and you fail this year, or if something didn't do good this year, hey, count that all joy. But if you didn't do good, you need to learn from your mistake and learn what it is that caused this plant to fail, so next year you can get back. Sometime it may be lack of water, sometime it may be not enough nutrients, or not enough fertilizer to feed the soil and the microbes for your plant to generate real pretty green leaves. So just figure out what it is. Get a little book and note it, and see why my garden didn't do so well this year. I am always open to, if you have questions, send them in. I know sometime I may not get to them right away, guys, but I am here nonetheless. Just bug me a little bit. I'll eventually get to you all, okay? Now, I know I was about to close this video probably 5 minutes ago, but I'm for real now. Just want to say thanks to each and every one of you all for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. I was about to say something though. Remember to go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to these videos. Share these videos to friends and family that are out there. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you all out there for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. And as always, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. Remember, you keep a smile on your face, you be happy, you be blessed, and you be cheerful. Until next time, I will catch you all in another video. Have a blessed day. Wake up.